Okay. Hopefully, we should be live now. We'll find out. Let's open up that link and make sure that it actually is doing what it's supposed to. Well, we'll find out. Anyways, here's my biggest fan. You can tell, because when we put the microphone on this poor guy, microscope, I mean, see, he has a fan sticker, so he's my biggest fan. Okay, well, I don't know how scenes is going to work, but we're going to try that anyways for this one. Okay, so things suck. Let's solder things instead. Thank you, biggest fan. Let's do some other work. Actually, this sticker is really neat. Like, that's a neat sticker. Have to find a home for that someday. Okay, so what's on the bench today? On the bench today is a RC2014 LCD module kit. We probably won't need this yet, so that can go away. And I can also close my own open of the stream. Actually, no, I need that still. I'm a fool. Okay. And I was going to also open a preview on the screen right there, so hopefully that will work. Okay. Oh, and I can't. Okay, I see. And the printing dialog does not want to go there. So, adventures in window management for a few minutes while we get all of that set up. Okay. As far as I can tell, the stream is working, so you don't need to really worry about much of anything. Other than, you know, the impending doom. You know, the usual. Alright. Oh. Be careful when opening that package, apparently, because that is where some of the, sockets are. That's interesting. Okay. Not many sockets on that, but some. What else we got? Oh, there's a bit of a nylon nut there. Be careful about that. Let's take this nylon nut and thread it onto the bolt so that we don't lose it. You know, if I could actually thread that on there. There we go. Wow, is there really only one resistor on this entire project? Oh man. I was printing out a resistor bender and everything. Isn't that just the way of it? You only need one resistor for the whole project, and it's right there. Okay. Well, well, well. The consequences of my own actions. Let's get some other tools out so that we can get going on this nonsense. There we go. Okay. Well, we usually start with the lowest components. In that case, that's going to be the resistor, and then these capacitors, and I'm guessing that all the capacitors are the same value. Yep, that they are, so it's going to be really hard to screw that one up. Capacitor there, and one right there, I think. So I think that's everything. The one fun part is going to be, this is supposed to be the breakout. This is the LCD breakout. We'll get to that later. Okay, let's start by bending this resistor. There we go. Distance is pretty standard, so nothing fancy there. Capacitors on next. Should have gotten the focal point set on this thing before I actually started the stream, but I didn't. I am a fool. Oh well. And one more capacitor. And I think we can just get started with those because the rest of them are going to start getting progressively bigger. Let's bring in that microscope. Oh, that's interesting. You change the scene and the preview disappears on my other monitor. That's fun. Why would you do that? Things that a lot of people in this geopolity are probably asking right now. Why would you do that? Okay. Should we try the Hako this time, or are we going to end up with the pine saw like we usually do? Because we usually end up with the pine saw at the end, because I just don't like how the Hako solders things anymore. That's not bad. I don't have my fume extractor on either. That's a problem. Let me guess, the cable is like wrapped around 50 quadrillion things, making it nearly impossible for me to do this without risking grievous injury. I'm living in the United States in 2024. Oh, and my bench is such a mess already. I'm not entirely certain I like the way the microscope is actually set up on this. It feels like it's far too far away. Yeah, that's loud, alright. Okay. fun part is I just realized I can still use my own magnifying scope. Except I can't because the monitor's in the way. Okay, well, let's just move that out of the way. We don't need that. Oh my gosh, come on. That one just does not want to go. Well, I tried, everyone. I'm already frustrated with the Haka. Time to bring out the cheap option. You can only see what you point the microscope at. Yeah, how fast. There we go. Already I miss my magnifying lamp. Like, this setup is supposed to be slightly better, because I should be able to use the screen itself, but I just don't trust it. Oh, that little piece went off on an adventure. No one knows where it's gone now. Seriously? There. I am so out of practice. Alright, let's go back to... Okay. Get that out for the second. Bend over the corners of these leads so that it sticks, so that the header stays down, at least kind of. else that we can stick on there? Probably these potentiometers. Neither the potentiometers nor the pads are giving me any indication that they're different, so I'm guessing that they're not. And that one pin just decided, you know what, I'm just not going to go in there. Look, I get it, man. I get it. I want out too, but that's not going to happen. This is going to be a short stream. We're going to probably finish this all before the print for the resistor bender even finishes at this point. Come on. That doesn't want to go in there. Because that front pin is all bent in a way that I do not want it bent. Okay, that should be good enough for the next cycle. So let's do that. And already I can see the problem because I can't get to these without that being on the edge. But, you know, whatever. Alright. Still no chats. That's okay. Usually got some on YouTube, but I'm only doing this on MakerTube this time because I don't care. All right. Come on. Oh, I'm not doing a very good job of showing you what I'm doing, am I? I'm trying. course, we need to do the thing where we're going to hold the thing from the hold the component from the bottom and solder, and then reflow the pin. So hopefully it seats a little bit further down. Actually, they're all pretty good now that I look at it. Alright. I just don't have much to say today. I wish I did, because, like, it's hard to... the last month has sucked. The last week in particular has sucked a lot. And quite frankly, I'm not sure if I really even want to talk about all of the things that sucked. It just seems like it'd be terribly unfair. Oh, come on. Come on, you little terminal. There we go. Have this big long one over here. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like this microscope mount so much. I have to really put all the work right in the middle of the bench. It feels so far away from me. inspect that a little bit. That one looks a little bit, this one right here, looks a little bit lighter on camera than it does in person, but that should be still pretty solid. I don't think I missed any of those. That's the capacitor from earlier. Those two are soldered, they just look weird on the camera. And then the potentiometers are definitely soldered. Okay. And that just leaves putting strip on, and then we have to figure out a few other things here. There's this breakout board. There's a lot of pin strips here. So how does that work? Well, let's get the cable out, wherever the heck that was. It's not over there. Is it in here? It's in here. Okay. And the cable is 2 inlines, so that would probably be here. You can't see that, it's too small. Just a second. So that looks like we would have to put maybe this one like this. Maybe? No. That can't be right. That can't be right, because then this little bit here for the backlight wouldn't actually come out correctly. Could that just be a straight connection? Because the connectors are right angle. You know what? I bet if I just go to the picture of this project online, I could probably find out what that's supposed to look like. I see ones that are for it mounted. Okay, there's one picture that has it. Okay, the right angle connector does in fact go over this one. That's weird. Okay. Why would you put this link for front panel external? Why would you put this there? And then block it with the other connector? Like, I guess that's meant to be, you know, just a permanent setup, so I guess that's fine. And it looks like the other header that we actually have to put on is this little guy over here. So that's where the little guy goes. And that one's a higher component than the pin strip on the bottom, so we're going to do the pin strip on the bottom first. Okay, sure. Let's see here. Where's my toothbrush? There it is. I need to get that part so I can solder it and get it stuck in there. There we go. And just do the other one real quick. That one's going to be really tricky. Actually, that's actually really good. That worked really well. It looks like it's even at a right angle to the rest of the board, so not bad. This says link for front panel, so I guess we'll need a bit of wire for that. You know what would be good for that would be a clipped off resistor trace, if I have any. Isn't it just that you... Oh, there they are. Right there under the bench the entire time. It was me, DNS! Actually, no sir, it wasn't DNS this time. I hope that I'm reading that right. Let's get the microscope in here so that you can see what I'm talking about, because it's a little confusing. Or maybe it's just me being uncertain about everything. So you have this section here that says link for front panel external, which is the intention here. So I'm guessing I need to link these two here, because they're around the box. I'm hoping I have that right, because that will be a pain in the butt to fix otherwise. You know, we could check the circuit diagram too. There's supposed to be a circuit diagram somewhere. And we're looking for that BL link. What the heck does that BL link even do? Yeah, I can't even identify which one that is. Which is there a label on the back? No, no label on the back either. Darn it! It's called J1. Okay, that is JP1. Is that close enough? It says pin 1 and 2, and the pins aren't labeled. Well, should we solder it together anyways and find out? What's the worst that can happen? I should stop asking that in the United States in 2024. What's the worst that can happen? Right, I need to wait for the USB soldering iron to warm all the way up. There we go. Whatever this ambient station is that I'm listening to, it really is trying to channel that Blade Runner energy. Okay, let's get this other thing on there too. Wow, I do not like that. Wow. You know, I think this is supposed to be a solder bridge, because the way that this is sticking up actually hits the pins. So I think that this is not the right way to do it. And there really isn't a lot of clearance here, because if you put this on there, it just hits the pin, see? So I don't think that there's supposed to be an actual piece of wire there. I think that it's just supposed to be a solder bridge. I really wish that connector wasn't there. I'd feel a lot safer. Not that much of anything is safe lately. Let's do a different connector that feels safer, like this one here. That one feels safer. Or maybe I can't. Maybe that's a bad idea. What does the LCD display look like? Okay, the LCD display, if you can see in the bench cam, has another strip here. So my guess is that's supposed to be bridged with this little board here, and then have the pins come out there. Okay, so that's what these are for. That's fine. We'll leave that be. Okay, what do we do about this mess that I just got ourselves into? Oh, someone's saying I should check the chat in MakerTube. I'm sorry, I haven't. Just solder a link across the backlight pins. Yeah, okay. I'm guessing I need to put that. Also note that part of the instructions where I screwed up on the silk screen, so the jumper needs to be on the top. And the 2 pins for the back. Wait. Also note part of the instructions where I screwed up on the silk screen. So the jumper needs to be on the top 2 pins for the backlight, not the lower 2 pins as the silk screen would indicate. Ew. Ew. Okay. Okay. Well, this is what I get for going for the boards for the first rev, because, you know, I'm like that sometimes. Okay, well, desoldering action today. You know, it'd help if I put that on the other side of the board, you know, where I soldered it. You know, I really wanted to just do boring stuff in my life. I don't want to worry about all this other stuff that living in this damnable place is making me worried about. Yeah, I missed that one. Try again. Okay, can I pull the link out now? Nope. Okay, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Let's hope I don't destroy the pads doing this. You know, I could just flush cut those. I just realized. Just flush cut them. Easier on the other side of the PCB too. Yeah, it's just that compared to all of the other boards, the fact that this gets covered by another connector is just really makes me nervous. Like, I really wish that it were like somewhere else on the board, but universe knows where the heck we would even put that, because there's just so many design considerations with the different sizes of LCD we have to handle, and the fact that this has to handle the bigger one. Like, there's just no good place to put that. You know, what would be really neat is if on the rear we had a tiny little micro switch, because you can get these little micro switches that you can just flip on and off back here, and that would make me feel a lot safer. Okay, so it's supposed to be the top 2, is what you're telling me. So, if I'm right, that would be this one, these 2 here. Heaven help me. God, there's no God here. And of course, I can't make a solder blob to save my life anymore. Ah, come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Nope. I'd much rather feel helpless at soldering. There. There, it's done. What do you think? I forget which Mystery Science Theater episode that quote's from. Yeah, that will work. You just have to desolder that, and you can't see what the hell I'm talking about here. You just have to desolder that and pull the link out. That should be pretty easy. I don't think that should interfere with the other connector. You know what would be handy is if I did something else, like... Ah, good. So I did get the connection right. Are these keyed at all? They are, but I'm not sure if it really matters. This just looks like a straight ribbon cable. Like, what you'd probably want to do... Your two choices are, if you use this side, yeah, okay. That's what I was afraid of. So, because of the way that this plug interfaces with this, you can't just lay this connector down flush with the board. You really do need to like factor in the connector, which is not what you'd expect. I'm very worried to like press that all the way into. The other problem is that the little key gets in the way. So there's a little key on these little ribbon cables. If you put this one down, yeah, that's exactly what my board looks like. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, the picture on the Z80 Kit store, which you definitely should go to if you have no idea what I'm building here. This is an RC2014 LCD module kit. And eventually we'll be making the front panel enclosure too. That will be fun. Okay, so we want to put the picture suggests putting the key on the top. So that's what I'm going to do too, which means what we really want to do is align this, and then we're going to have to solder one of the pins. Where's my toothbrush? I know it's not a toothbrush, but it looks like a toothbrush. If you're a robot. All the robot people who self-identify as robots are like, yeah, I brush with an ESD toothbrush every night. Don't want to shock the old jaw system. Well, that's no good. Yeah, so this is going to be tricky because we want to make sure that that is in there. And and I only have one coffee today. How can I be this inept today? Oh, right, because everything's on fire. That's right. Okay. Hopefully that will stay still long enough for me to get one pin soldered. That's all we need. If my soldering iron would behave. Someday, I need to figure out why I just can't get the Hako to work for me any longer. It's just so frustrating. It's such a good soldering iron, and yet I just like using the Pine Sol so much more because it's tinier and gets into more holes. And I overdid that one, so now it's actually too loose. Let's see. Try that. That looks good. I think I might be able to take that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty reasonable distance, and you can see that there's a little bit of a gap down there. There's my nail polish. Okay, so I think we're good to go to solder all of these. So let's get the toothbrush out of the way. Oh, is that going to interfere on that side now too? Oh no! I made a terrible mistake. Now I can't put this in the slot anymore because the pins on this side are actually in the way. Oh no! Well, you know what? Away with the PCB holder. We just won't use it now. We just won't use it. How's that? Everything should be in place, so. And third time's the charm, and the solder fume extractor didn't come up. Someday I need to build one of these that's a lot smaller and quieter than this thing. Apparently tonight's Monster Dawn is Shopping Mall, 1986. When I said that, announced that to my housemate, she said, "Oh really? What year was that made? Oh, it's some 80s slasher teenage flick," and she literally yelled, "You don't say!" I think my riffing group did Shopping Mall a while ago. I made another terrible mistake. Can you spot the mistake? That's right, I put it in backwards. Well, at least we found that before I ruined the entire board, just most of it. I probably need to find some desoldering grade now. How am I gonna get that out? Man, I really screwed that one up. I mean, I have a spare right angle pin strip, so in the worst case, I guess I could just cut all of this off and then, like, just dispose of this one pin strip and we'll be fine, because this is the same kind of pin strip. I don't know why I have an extra. At some point, I must have bought a whole bunch of extra one of these pins. Doing all this desoldering will probably also ruin a lot of these anyways. Yeah, I can't get a good lock on any of those. Oh, crud. Crud, 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 crud. Actually, when I'm done, I won't be able to find my soldering blade either. It will be lost to time. Well, I don't think I can find it. Of course I can't. Oh, hey, there it is. So glad that the creator of this project never made the mistake I just made. Nope, never made a mistake at all. Yeah, you can tell that I'm just melting these pins off. Okay, you know what? I'm abandoning this. We're gonna go all hardcore heavy metal on this, one at a time, so we don't damage anything. We have a spare, so we might as well use it. Ow. I'm gonna destroy this board, I think. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna destroy the board entirely at this point. Okay, is the soldering iron even... Oh my god! The soldering iron crashed! None of the first 8 pins are actually part of the circuit. Yeah, that's actually good to know, because I'm just having every mistake possible here. Wow, it's almost as if you use the actual, like, tool. You might be able to get... Come on, honey, I know that you want to. Ugh. Get the rest of that pin strip out. Now, maybe if the soldering iron doesn't crash, we'll be able to actually finish this. I feel like such a foolish person. I feel like I should try clipping each one of these. You know, I bet if I did that, just kind of nibble my way out. miserable. I know, I could remove the plastic and not have to worry about it, but I like the plastic there. I'm just making everything hard for myself. Oh, the print is done. See, I cursed myself there. That's what happened. I shouldn't have said that we would beat the printer today. Oh, one of those pins came out. Did any of the other ones come out? Wiring things wrong is never fun. Fine, we'll do it the way that we did in high school. So pushing the pins out. Oh, I know. Don't I have a pair of fancy-ass locking tweezers down here? I think I do. Is that the only one? Okay. Well, I might melt a little bit, but... Oh, that's actually working, which is hilarious. Okay. I think we actually got practically the whole thing cleaned up now. Set this one first pin. Come on. Come on, man. Now we're doing some real aggressive stuff. Yeah, I think I only destroyed one of the pads doing that. Fortunately, it's not for... Yeah, you can see that one dead via right there. Fortunately, it's not connected to anything. So, and it looks like it's still on the other side, so I just ripped off the top part. Okay, well, let's try again, and let's try doing it the right way this time. Oh, you know what? I think the soldering iron crashed again. I can't get a break here. Oh, boy. Pad is just going to be utterly destroyed by the time I'm done with that. Okay, now that that debacle was done, we actually now have it the right way on. Oh, what does it matter? Well, I don't have to feel like anything matters after the last month. far so good. Just need to get this other header done. That's going to be fun. What I need is either I need to move the magnifying lamp so that I can face it like right here so that it's in front of my face. Or I need to get one of those magnifying visor things. And again, I don't know how many more of these streams we're ever going to really do. Because with all of the myriad emergencies this year, my finances are trash. Like, we had a 2-day power outage here just a while ago, and that really screwed everything up. So there's had to clean out the entire fridge, lost everything in there because there was just no way of preserving all of that. Oh, that's really tight. Oh, jeez. I should have put that pin in the first time. I think it will still work. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll work. I'm not sure if I'll ever get that cable back off of there, but it'll work. Okay, and one of the links goes on here. I don't know which one is which, so we're just gonna guess. I'm guessing that's probably... Oh! What do you know? There's a handy-dandy key right here. So I'm guessing that since it's an RC2014, we want it like that. Okay, cool. Alright. That's everything on this board, isn't it? We just have the LCD module now. So we have the LCD module and this itty-bitty, teeny-tiny breakout board. Does the pictures show which direction? No. Pins on this side. LCD on this side. Well, what do you know? It does tell me. Which is easier, putting the pins in the LCD and then putting that through the board, or the other way around? I would guess we want to put the header in the LCD. I could be wrong about that, but here's my thought. If this is going to be installed in the panel, we want the short pins here, so that they don't foul against the panel. We may end up having to flush cut those anyways. And then we can put that through there. So, if I'm right, the first thing that we want to do then is get my robot toothbrush back. That's canon now. It's going to be called the robot toothbrush forever. Don't crash on me again, soldering iron. I've had enough of your gumption today. that should be square-ish. I bet that will fit in the PCB holder, too. Does. And we get it actually on camera too, because that would be nice. This really does feel like a situation for flux, but every time I've used flux, I've regretted it. So let's use some flux, because I want to regret things some more today. Okay, that was actually fun to do. Wow, did I actually just figure out how to use flux? Was my problem this entire time that I didn't actually melt the damn stuff first? That looks okay. Will this dispenser actually work this time? No, because the little tube in it is completely broken. Of course it is. Why would it be anything else? Both of those solvent bottles are just ruined, just abject garbage. Why did I buy those? I was really hoping that they would do a good job, but they just don't. They just don't. Maybe I just bought really bad ones. Okay, so for the tiny board, we're also going to do this in... There's my Allen key. We're going to put the pins on first for this one. So, 8 pins, 4 pins. First, we need to solder on the first pin. I'm just going to borrow the jumper there for a second. There we go. That should hold that together. Come on. The last one. There we go. Now, before we do anything like that, because we could potentially foul this on this little pin here with these connectors, what we could do is we could put some Kaplan tape there. I actually think I found mine, and I think I brought it down. So we'll just mask off that with some Kaplan tape so that it's not going to foul on this connector at all. And it still says on this one, LCD on this side, so there we go. And what I'd like to do is actually solder that so that it's relatively high, which is going to be a bit of an art to do right. I think what we're going to have to do is, let's start with this pin here. Three crashes. 3 crashes this time. Oh man. This is so frustrating. How often this poor thing just crashes all the time. Oh, I guess that's where we're gonna stop. Sure. That's good enough. I'm not going to be able to get that to stay anyways. That whole thing just feels very sticky. Alright. That's reasonably highly distanced away. There's only one pin on there, which looks like it might need a little bit of solder. This one. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Looks like that should be pretty good to go. Is there anything else left that we need to solder? Because I don't think we... Wow, that is really loud. Wow. Let's clean that off. Okay, let's go back to... Put that back onto my screen. And since we no longer have the loud thing on, we can pull what's on the printer off the bed. I think I saw this model or one like it on Jan Beta's channel, and I went, oh, I need to get one of those. I need to print one of those off. So there we go, 1 resistor lead bender. And Z offset's not nearly as close to the bed as I was hoping. That's close enough. I mean, it stayed more or less correct. It is a long, thin model, so long, thin models almost always bend like that. Okay, let's print off this one, because this one's a pretty quick job, although we'll have to warm up the entire printer all over again in order to do it. Okay, so we should be able to just start putting chips in, and then we'll be finished. I think we can turn the soldering iron off now. Well, that was an adventure. One massive mistake, and crying later. Okay, now the real question is, can I figure out which chip goes where without actually having to look up the diagram, or am I going to just give up immediately? I have a feeling I'm going to have to look, because two of these chips are, let's see here, that one's an 8.6 and that one is a T02N. Okay, and all of those are different. Fun. Oh, well, what do you know? They are, in fact, labeled on here. Okay, so that one is the 7425. T45, sorry. That's this one. Oh, you know what I don't have on right now? I don't have on an anti-static wrist strap. Let's do that before I make terrible, even more terrible mistakes. Okay. And those leads in slightly. That was satisfying. Okay, the next one is the T688. T688. Let's bend the leads in a little bit. Oh, that one, there we go. There we go. All the pins look like they're in there correctly. Ah, nice and satisfying snap. Okay, bottom one is the 8.6, the C86. Oh, that's interesting. This one says CT86E. Well, I'm going to assume that that's actually the right one, because there's only two of these chips, and the other number is very different than this one. Okay. There we go. That one also seated very, very satisfyingly, and then there's just the last one left. And I think that is all of the parts we have to worry about. Now, because the extension cable isn't keyed, we're going to have to make sure that when we connect this, that it's got to follow the correct pin. There's an indicator mark here, a little arrow, and another one here. So those have to match up. Okay. One more. Oh, that one just won. There we go. Ah, that was so nice. Ah, I love it when the pin, when they just want to go in there without a complaint. Ah. How do we know which one's which? I mean, we could connect it like that, just as a test. And then because it's not really, there's no continuity here, I mean, there's no power in the circuit, we could try probing it. Okay, if that's pin number 1, All right, I think that's good. So it's down, basically. All right. Well, I believe that is, there we go, the whole thing. So that would imply that you have to, when you mount this in the enclosure, you need to mount it this way with this pin facing that, and you really want to have that one on the latter half of the board so that it doesn't go very far. Oh yeah, also, let's really just go for broke here. Ah, yeah, there you go. There's your plastic removal moment there. All right, that is this entire little project. We're not going to power it on this time. We'll power, hopefully that will be soon. I'm still waiting for the enclosure, and I don't really want to mess with it just then. It's also almost 3 o'clock here, which means I have other things I need to get to, like creeping existential horror. There's always time for that. So, I'm Socket Wench. This is the Socket Bench. Thanks for joining us. Bye.